What's going on, guys? I'm Icy Rhythms. Welcome back to another video. And in this one, we're going to talk about Steam versus Epic Store versus Steam. However you want to put it, it's basically the same thing. These people, and by these people, I'm referring to the clowns. It's not really coming from much on the Nintendo side of things or even the Xbox side of things. The Xbox guys, they know, right? They know right now they have to sit on their hands and shut up because nothing really good or amazing is going to happen for Xbox until next generation. So they're playing the wait and see game, and that's understandable, and I respect that. They're very quiet right now. A lot of them don't have too much to say about this. A lot of this is coming from the PlayStation fans, and I don't even really want to say PlayStation fans. It's really, I don't even know if we can say fanboys. Definitely fanboys, but these are the worst of the worst, the elitists, if you will. They worship Sony, they love Sony, everything that they do, and it's not terribly surprising that they would support some of the business practices that they always seem to be for, or things like buying up exclusives, given all of the exclusives that Sony has bought up over the years for their platform, or the first-party studios that deliver exclusives that they don't bother to put on other platforms. So it makes sense why they would support and be for some of these anti-consumer practices, not just when we're dealing with exclusives, but as a whole. Just anything that's anti-consumer on PC, they like to discuss this. I don't know why. Most of these people don't even game on PC. A lot of them, if they have a PC, it's probably like a laptop from 2008 or something that at best can play Left 4 Dead or, Portal or something on low or medium settings. They don't really have a PC that's capable of playing modern games. So I always wonder why they get involved in these conversations. I think to some extent, I get it. I do. You guys are bored right now. We're at that point in the generation where, let's just be honest, your master Sony that you love and worship has dominated the so-called console wars that you guys love so much. They have given you exclusive after exclusive, whether it's first party or third party that they've bought up. They've been doing this. They've been playing this game for a long time, and you guys are bored. You're waiting for Sony to confirm the actual existence and show you what it looks like. Release date of the PlayStation 5. You're waiting for confirmed release dates for games like Ghost of Tsushima or The Last of Us 2. I get it. You guys would like Sony to give a Killzone collection, an Infamous collection. Hell, even I would be really excited for the Infamous collection, somewhat excited for a Killzone collection. So I get that. If we could get the games in 1080p or 1440, 4K or something, 60 FPS with other significant upgrades to texture work and things like that, I think that would be great, especially the first Infamous. I really hold that game up on a pedestal. I think it was like a super underrated game, and I like Infamous. It's a good game. So I'd be excited for that. So I can understand why you guys are feeling a little bit bored. Is there really a whole lot left to look forward to? Probably not. I'm sure Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us will be good games, but outside of maybe one or two other games, what else is there to look forward to? So instead, you guys just start talking about things and discussing things that you don't understand. It's no different than saying something like, you just want to play, an example, Metro Exodus on PC. You just want to play it on PC, Icy. You don't want to play it on your PS4 Pro. You just want to play it on PC. Yeah, kind of. Why wouldn't I want to play it on PC, where it was gifted to me for free, first of all, on Steam, before they even made the switch to the Epic Store, where I'm going to get the best possible experience. Graphics, sound, performance. Yeah, why the hell would I ever buy that game for my PlayStation 4 Pro? Saying I just want to play it on my PC makes absolutely no sense. Or, hey, you just want to have sex with this girl. You don't want to have sex with that girl. Yeah, think about the reasons why. I mean, look at them. The choice is obvious in some cases. It doesn't make any sense what you guys are saying. You just want to play it on Steam. Yeah, of course we do. Because that's the best possible place to play games on PC as the end user. What matters in competition is not how many users. I definitely don't think about these things. I don't care about how many users a store has. I don't care about the last 5 games and how many they've sold on each store. I just think about where I'm going to get the best possible experience. To pretend like Epic is now the only competition because they're competing in ways that some of the other stores and companies have not is completely ridiculous. I refuse to sit here and believe that there hasn't been competition for Steam. Huge companies like Ubisoft with Uplay or EA with Origin. I remember, maybe you guys just started gaming at the tail end of the PS3, or with this generation you guys had your Wiis and your 360s and you decided to hop over on PlayStation, so now you worship Sony cock or something. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe you guys forget, maybe you weren't even around for that, but I can remember when Battlefield 3 was set exclusive for Origin. There was a really big uproar about that. People were very pissed off. The Battlefield community was very pissed off, but eventually everyone just made the switch. They knew they weren't going to be able to play Battlefield 3 without Origin, and that's just how it's been since that time. So I won't pretend that these kind of things haven't happened. I don't know if GOG or Ubisoft has ever made something exclusive to their store, whether it was their own or third party. I think most Ubisoft games have been on Steam. They did remove The Division 2. I don't know if there is plans to put that back on Steam at some point. I think so. 6 months to a year. We know that Borderlands 3 is going to come back to Steam at some point. So, I mean, I guess technically it was never on there, but you know what I'm saying. Some of these games are going to end up on Steam, and it should be interesting to see how the community treats those games once that happens. Some of you, I don't think you realize how awkward and meaningless you make some of these discussions once you're involved, because not only do I know you're lying in a lot of cases, you just don't really know what you're talking about. And some of these people, you guys know the ones that I'm talking about, you call them out like, hey, you don't even game on PC, and then suddenly some of them have like this amazing PC, like one of the best PCs that money can buy. You know, they got like a 9900K 2080 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM, all the best and fastest SSDs possible. Just monster PC, a power supply that's like overkill for what's actually in their PC. Completely monster PCs, and you're just like, I know this person is lying. And then you go and look at the history and the tweets that they've put out, not only to you, but other people before, and you can just see that they worship Sony or they worship Nintendo. Usually it's the Sony guys, but you know, it's one or the other. You know that they're lying, or they're making things really awkward by making things up on the fly, things that don't make any sense to you, the consumer. If you're not, again, if you're not saying something that I feel is very consumer friendly, it's hard for me to take you seriously, because I feel like you're either just saying things just to say them, or you don't know how the market works. You sure as hell don't value what's in your wallet or in your bank account, because if you're for a lot of these things, if you think it's okay, if you think that this is good, this is healthy competition, then something is wrong with you. An example that I gave a day or two ago is, let me give you an example of how, there's many examples that you could give. An example of poor business practices, things that don't necessarily benefit the consumer, that can turn not so healthy for another fan base. And the example I gave was Xbox Live. Last generation and the generation before, Microsoft was charging, but Sony was not. I thought that that was their ace in the hole. I was hoping that they would keep it that way, not only for me, but just consumers as a whole. They did not. They decided, well, we're not going to let Microsoft make all this money. We're going to start charging too. How did that work out for you? Was that good competition? Was that healthy in what way did that benefit you? There's nothing you can say to me. I think one person tried to tell me that, well, we get exclusives because of PlayStation Plus and having to pay for that, and Sony charging for it. And I'm like, they were giving you guys tons of exclusives before. They always have. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. If you really feel like that money that you're giving is going back into exclusives, then again, you're just making these conversations and discussions awkward. I mean, it's just, how can you even debate saying things like that? I don't believe that games like Uncharted 4 wouldn't exist without Sony charging for PlayStation Plus or PSN, however you want to say it these days. I don't believe that Horizon Zero Dawn wouldn't exist and be as great as some people claim that it is if PSN was still free. You're kidding yourself. That's my position. That's my stance. You know, a lot of it just is my opinion, but some of that is facts. You know, when poor business practices prove successful, these companies will continue to do it until you no longer support it. So that's why sometimes maybe you guys, just for a second, can try and understand why we worry about certain things, why we question certain things on the PC platform. See, we speak up. We actually give a shit about what happens on our platform, and we just don't say, okay, thank you, Sony, thank you, Microsoft. If anything, right now, in terms of competition and what's consumer friendly, I would say that the Xbox is the most consumer friendly console. Where the games are at and what they're doing with all of that is a different story entirely. But from a consumer friendly standpoint, I like a lot of what Microsoft is doing. And if I was still a console only gamer that played, and as I still do, mostly multi-platform games, I would probably have an Xbox One X if I could just have one console. If that's all I could afford, if it's all I had time for, I'd probably have an Xbox One X, because for me, the consumer, and for the games that I play, that makes the most sense to me. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I really do appreciate it. You guys take care. Thank you again for all the continued support. Peace.